In this tutorial, you will learn how to enter direct orders. Those are orders that are basically being sent to you by manufacturers that have received them straight from the retail store and the customer, meaning that that did not go through to your sales rep or through your showroom or main office. To enter direct orders, they usually come through your monthly statements, and you have a list of them, and you usually do not know when to post them. So to begin, you start them during invoice entry, so that's the moment you're really finding yourself doing direct orders. You want to put in the manufacturer name, you want to put in the commission rate here to the right, you want to put the commission percentage, and the reason I'm going too fast in this is because you should already have known how to do all of this. If you're doing direct orders, please go watch the videos on invoice entry and commission entry to know how to do what I'm doing at this very moment. The reason you should be, I'm just setting up the scenario because direct orders are only done when you're doing the statements and you're receiving the statements from your vendor and you're invoicing and you're finding that you're not being able to pull up an order and that order was never entered in your system to begin with, and you're having to invoice it and track it for reporting purposes. So you'd be at the scenario of having your vendor chosen, your sales rep, your commission percentage from the vendor, your sales rep pay date is selected, and you're looking for a PO that you can't necessarily find. So here it is, no such order. I'm looking for a PO, but the system is just not finding it. I'm going to put in the customer, test customer, and hit enter, and the system's saying, well, here, these are the orders that I'm finding. Could any of these be the ones that you're looking for? Those are not the ones. The ones that I'm looking for is PO to PO 4477. Obviously, that must be a direct in our system now, or not. They're not in our system, so we need to make it a direct in our system. So, in concluding, we're going to click on New Direct Order, and REPTIME will find that you've looked for the customer, which was test customer. You're working with the vendor test. It'll go ahead and put in the direct order D, and it'll put in everything that it can best. And notice the commission percentage for the direct is also there. And now you're ready to put in the invoice amount. This is the invoice amount that you're looking at on the statement that the vendor paid the customer with, or the customer paid the vendor with. And this is also the order total, probably, because you don't know the order total. It could have been $100 and the invoice amount is 70. You're just going to have to put in 70, whether it's 100, you won't know, so you just have to put in 70. So in posting 70, REPTIME will take that $70 and say that that's also order total as well as the invoice amount. So at this very moment, you're placing an order as well as invoicing as well as commissioning in one simple go. REPTIME is able to do this through some things that we've built together. Now the invoice number. The invoice number is going to be, let's say, INV. Many people don't put INV, and I am in this case, and I'm going to call it 558846. And what's going to be unique in this case is as soon as I hit enter, if you look above, REPTIME changes the PO number and puts it in as INV 558846. We've made REPTIME to take the PO number of the invoice number, take the PO number to be the invoice number when we are doing directs, so that we can know that these were actual directs that were sent into the main manufacturer, and the customer was placing the order through the manufacturer, and you know that the sales rep never reached out to the customer. This helps the rep to know that this was an invoice that was a direct, and they could know why they should be focused to reach out to that customer and not the customer having to go to the vendor. So we made the motto to copy the PO number and the invoice number just for these criteria. Now we're going to put in the invoice number, and we can say it's 5/14/2012, and I hit enter, and we're going to talk a little bit about what happened right there. The invoice number was copied to be the order date and the ship date. Obviously, the REPTIME system needs to place an order, and it doesn't know when that order was placed, so we're just going to mimic an order, and we're going to say that it was the same date as the invoice date, and just post it in the REPTIME system. So we have an order with an invoice P558846 as its PO number, just to kind of flag to us what it is, and everything else is satisfied. So after the invoice number, we have the commission amount. The commission amount automatically appeared because the REPTIME system has all the commission percentages placed in the system. If you are not aware about these commission percentages, please go watch our video on how to enter commission percentages and you'll know what we're talking about here. But it pulled it in automatically, and assuming this, if you're looking at the statement that you received from the vendor with this direct order, you should have probably received $8.40 for that $70 invoice if you're receiving 12% commission and everything is normal. That's everything. So now, out of the $8.40, the rep will receive 40% of that, and then the 60% will go to the main office on the date of 5/31/2012. And this was pulled in from the previous screen, and as you remember, if you've already learned how to do commission entry and invoice entry, or invoice and commission entry at once, this is information that stays static as you're doing all these orders or invoices and commissions, and it just repeats itself and copies it just so you don't have to redo it over and over and over. You hit save, that direct order is saved, and that's everything. You hit save again, and you move along, and now you can do another one. So in a very fast manner, I'm going to do another one just by saying it's PO 9999. I know that that's not in the system. It's a direct order, so I'm going to hit enter. The REPTIME system's like, I can't find it. So look for the customer. I'm going to type in test, hit enter. REPTIME is saying, is it any of these three? Notice the one that we just did is also posted. There's a direct. It's already been fulfilled. There's nothing outstanding, but it's not one of these three. So I'm going to hit new direct order. REPTIME fills it in. I'm going to put in the invoice amount. In this case, it was $88. Invoice number, INV 5522484, or step 4, there we are. Invoice date 5/14/2012. Enter. The system automatically calculates it. If I wish to override it, you can just take it, and then the system will say, okay, 40%, yes, and then you hit enter. Everything looks good. Everything looks great. That's the direct order, and you hit save. And that's how fast you can add in a direct order that's not in the system, and you can invoice it and commission it and continue forward with new orders. To learn more about other things, go look at how you enter invoices and commissions and chargebacks, and also run reports on statements and commission statements. Thank you.